So today I want to talk about LolitaLand by LolitaLand Perfume. This is the first time in my entire life that someone has commented on YouTube and asked me to do a review on this. So I want to fulfill that person's request. So here is a little diary entry on LolitaLand by LolitaLand Perfume. I am enthralled by the packaging. Just by looking at the packaging, I think it's worth the money. I am this dolly. I like all these dolly fairy tale like almost bringing back the memories of childhood and innocence kind of packaging. It's really my thing. So LolitaLand by LolitaLand Perfume was created by Francisco John. He is a master perfumer whose work I have always liked. So let's talk about the perfume now. So the top notes, there are a lot of top notes. Bellini, pepper, Italian mandarin, grapefruit, lemon, lime and orange. So when I first spritz it, the first few seconds, it is a very juicy, not too sour, but a very juicy lemon zestiness. Like a burst of freshness. And then I get a tiny little bit of pepperiness. It's not really that much. It's really more on the citrusy side of the lime and also the mandarin and the grapefruit. It's really a very orangey, almost orangey, but more to the citrusy, fresh side of the top notes. And together with the citrusiness, I do get the vanilla straight away. Bear in mind that the middle notes are jasmine sambac, jasmine, white peach, blackcurrant, magnolia, plum and rose. And the base notes are the vanilla, white musk, benzoin, licorice and sandalwood. Although the vanilla is listed as the bottom note, it actually appears just a few minutes after the burst of the citrusy notes. The vanilla is there. It's a combination of a very smooth orange vanilla. It really reminds me of a fragrance by Salvatore Ferragamo, Amo. If you have tried that, if you have sniffed that before, then this is a very similar cousin of that one. To be honest, I think LolitaLand came out first before Amo Ferragamo. I have to double check. I'm not completely sure. So I personally acquired LolitaLand first, and then I store it 2 years in my wardrobe, not using it, not touching it. And then I got my hands on Amo Ferragamo. And when I spray Amo Ferragamo, it immediately reminded me of this LolitaLand. Immediately. This has almost the same notes like the Campari notes, something which is in Amo Ferragamo. It's not listed on the note breakdown in LolitaLand, but I don't know why it just it has the same feature, like a vanilla orange sparkling drink kind of scent. But you know what, other than the vanilla, it's quite peachy, but the peach is not really a fruity peach. This is not a too fruity LolitaLand perfume. This is not a overall over-the-top fruitiness here. It's more like a very sensual but playful vanilla scent together with the orange creaminess. It's almost like an orange cream. Yes, it almost smells like an orange cream as it dries down. It loses the sparkling characteristics, the zestiness of this lemon, and it becomes an orange cream, quite fluffy, and it's mixed together with this vanilla. You know what, as it dries down some more, something is quite different from Amo Ferragamo. Amo Ferragamo is still it is orangey vanilla, and it will get sweeter as the time goes. But this one dries down to another different thing. To be honest, as it dries down to a more deeper, darker scent. I think the middle note, I really can ignore the jasmine. It's not really that obvious. I love jasmine, and I'm quite disappointed that the jasmine is not really the feature, the star feature here, and it doesn't really feature more. And it's not featured so much. I mean, there are two kinds of jasmine listed in the middle note, yet the jasmine note is not strong at all. It is almost non-existent. It's too much of this vanilla, of this creamy orange, of this sweet peach, but it's not too fruity and it's not too powdery. And it over this, all of this fluffiness, fluffy creaminess just takes over the floral element of this fragrance. The jasmine doesn't shine, the rose doesn't shine. The rose, I can say that I cannot smell anything rosy in here. It's not particularly rosy, and it's not particularly jasmine-y. And as it dries down, the woodiness starts to come out to play. As it dries down, I think it really embodies the spirits of LolitaLand Pica fragrances. If you have tried more than one LolitaLand Pica fragrances, it has a certain kind of dry down, like almost licoricey, almost woody dry down. There is something very unique to this house, to this LolitaLand Pica house. So as it dries down, it's not that Amber Ferragamo dries down to a very sweet, sugary, orangey scent. This takes to another direction. This dries down. Still the vanilla is here, but this dries down into a much more dry, almost make my throat a bit parched. Yeah, so there is a certain amount of licorice in here. There is a certain amount of licorice here, but the licorice here is it's hidden. It's almost as if it's hidden behind the veil of all this creamy fluffiness. It won't be taking the center of anything, but it's just like, like lurking in the background, like wanting to come out to say, hey, I'm Lolita, but yet it's covered by all these sugary notes still. So I can sense a little bit of licorice note, but it's not really that obvious, but it already has taken to an opposite direction of this sugary sweetness of this Amber Ferragamo, although the two of them are really similar in the beginning. So as it dries down, I still get vanilla. I still get vanilla a lot. Licorice note starts to come out to play, and benzoin. Yes, benzoin. I can smell benzoin in here. It becomes more benzoiny rather than vanilla sugary sweet. It becomes more like a deeper scent of this benzoin and licorice, but it's still sweet. It's still sweet. Overall, I think this, if you're a fan like me, I am a fan of LolitaLand Pica. I'm a fan of the house. I like the packaging. I like the concept. Yes, I love this one. Although it can smell quite juvenile in the beginning, quite youthful in the beginning, quite sweet in the beginning, but it dries down to a rather dry, rather earthy, but not exactly like LolitaLand Pica, the EDP typical earthy, patchouli, licoricey thing. It's there, but it's licoricey, vanilla, benzoiny-ness. Heaven. Alright, so if you're peeping into my diary, I would really love for you to subscribe and leave me a comment down below. See you in the next one. Bye bye.